Assalamu alaikum. I am Mariam Khan Atarashi.
My name is Muhammad Syamudin bin Maksani.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Aisha binti Muhammad.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Ilyas bin Nazrul Hussein.
I am Muhammad Shafi bin Udin.
So today I'm going to present about the concept and historical development of pluralism. So let us begin with the concept of pluralism. Pluralism is one of the ideology in which people believe that happiness and success can be achieved in a society that has the environment of coexistence of different values within different values. In other words, this ideology suggests to give importance to every single different values and don't give superiority to one single values. As for the origin of pluralism, actually it can be found in the religious text as well, and I would like to give example from the Quran, the Holy Quran. In Surah Ma'idah, verse number 48, it is mentioned that had Allah willed, He would have made you one nation, but He intended to test you in what He has given you. So to explain this verse, it means that if Allah willed, He has actually made every single person same so that we can become easily into one. But actually He didn't. He made every single person in different way so that maybe we will have some difficulty in getting doing cooperation. But that is also a test from Allah. So it is a fact from this verse that we are all different and we don't need to be in same. We don't have to be same, and it is normal to have a different value from other people because Allah has created us in that way. As for among the philosophers, the origin can be traced back to Aristotle in 350 BC. He has written in his book that in order to attain happiness, different way exists, and so which means that having a different value is something okay. But initially, such pluralism was considered as treat, as the different values might create confusion among the community. So they used to believe that there should be only one single right way to achieve a goal. But however, in 70s, the concept of pluralism get popular due to the increase of global trade and also the wars and also religious movement that increased in Europe. Alright, so now we will move on to the next presenter, Brother Hisham. He will be talking about the characteristic of pluralism.
Just like Sister Mariam said about the concept of pluralism, I want to add a little bit about pluralism, where pluralism is a political and social philosophy where it emphasizes the diversity of ideas, belief, and also lifestyle. So there are 6 characteristics of pluralism. Number 1 is diversity. Pluralism recognizes and values difference between the people in society, whether they are different races, religion, or culture. Second is tolerance. Pluralism emphasizes the importance of respecting and accepting these differences, even when they are in conflict with one another. Third is openness. Pluralism encourages the open exchange ideas between people, also accept all opinion and perspective from people based on the given or the certain situation. Fourth is coexistence. Pluralism implements the method where the people must live in peaceful coexistence, and also the conflict must be settled through dialogue or discussion. Number 5 is democratic value. Pluralism implements the democratic values such as freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, and also the rule of law in order to protect the right and the fairness between in the society. The last one is social justice. We know that in some places there are some group of people that are discriminated. So pluralism ideology, they want to promote and encourage the social justice and also the equality for all people in society. So what is the impact of pluralism to the people?
I want to present about the impact of pluralism to people in different groups. Pluralism posits that decision makers will take shared solutions that advance the common good of the entire society because of the application. Among the effects of the pluralism in different parts of the world are politics, social, and economics. First and foremost, the impact of pluralism in politics is can approach the new administrative system. For example, the British created an administrative system based on 3 important elements: the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The judiciary has the ability to interpret the constitution and is separate from the other 2 branches of government. The Prime Minister leads the unit council of ministers advises the president, who has the executive authority. The system is used by Japan, Ireland, Malaysia, Canada, and more countries to various elements. There is an element of accommodation in the line of a pluralistic society. Social impacts are a subset of impacts. They are not fully separable from other impacts, either conceptually, visually, or in the detail. Some social impact may be of particular policy relevance. For example, poverty, equity, social and exclusion. For the third one, the result of pluralism in economics. There are two main forms of economic explosion in Malaysia, which are mining activities and rubber plantation. It was created to increase the economic resources that can be produced by the country. As a result, people in the country creating a line of ethnic division based on the division of jobs. For instance, Malay work in the government sector and agriculture, Chinese as miners and traders, while India works as estate and farms worker. It's not good to carry out because it will involve the community and lead to racial division. Now I want to pass to the next speaker who will talk about what is the strength and weaknesses of pluralism.
I'm going to talk about the strengths and shortcomings of pluralism in Islamic worldview. First, I'm going to talk about the strength of pluralism. So my first point is recognition of diversity. Pluralism acknowledges the diversity in society. This recognition of diversity is important as Islam recognizes the existence of other religions and encourages Muslims to coexist peacefully with people of other exists. My second point is respect for human dignity. Pluralism emphasizes respect for human dignity, regardless of an individual's background or belief system, which aligns with Islamic teaching that emphasize the value of and worthiness of every human being. So now I'm going to talk about shortcomings of pluralism. So one of the shortcomings of the pluralism is moral relativism. So what is moral relativism? So moral relativism is something where there are no universal moral standards and everything is very subjective in this world. This goes against Islamic teachings which emphasize the importance of objective morality and following the guidance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the next shortcoming is relativism. So what is relativism? It's a thing where all beliefs are considered equal and valid. So this relativism is against Islamic teachings which emphasize the importance of following a singular truth and rejecting falsehood of the religion itself. So what is the summary of this topic, which is the pluralism?
To summarize the topic, let us take a look first at the word pluralism. Pluralism comes from word plural, which means many. Ism is ideology. So the idea is accepting many beliefs, ideas in terms of politics, social, economy, religion, and so on. Like Sister Mariam said, in one community, there consists of many groups. All groups are equal and important. There is no one single group is more important than another or other groups. All groups lead to success and happiness according to pluralism. Like Brother Hisham shared with us, characteristic of pluralism. First is diversity. We accept ideas from different races, religions, political views, and so on. Second is tolerance and openness. We are tolerant, we are open to exchange our idea or belief. Third is coexistence. We solve a conflict through dialogue or compromise. Fourth is democracy value, like freedom of speech, free to assemble. Fifth is social justice. They don't want any discrimination occur to any group of people. What is the impact of pluralism? As we can see today, in Malaysia, we are practicing British system in terms of politics. According to our history, we have go through divide and rule. As example, Malays work at rural areas while Chinese work as traders. There are pros and cons of pluralism. Like Brother Ilyas shared with us, pluralism is good in terms of tolerance, respect, peaceful dialogue. But as a Muslim, we reject religious pluralism. In Quran, Allah has mentioned, Inna dina indallahi Islam. Indeed, there is no religion in the sight of Allah except Islam. Our life is to seek the pleasure of Allah. That's all. Assalamu alaikum.
What is pluralism? Broadly speaking, pluralism refers to the state of having more than one of anything. It is the coexistence of several diverse things, such as individuals, groups, opinions, principles, and practices. At the core of pluralism are the values of autonomy, and respect for, and tolerance of diversity. Pluralism can be applied to a wide range of contexts and disciplines, such as in society, religion, education, ethics, and politics. When applied to society, pluralism, or social pluralism, is the view that each individual, or group, is autonomous, and has the right to pursue his own values and interests. In a pluralist society, every individual is recognized and respected as an equal member, regardless of his gender, race, economic status, political views, religious beliefs, etc. Clearly, such social inclusiveness and equality are much needed in today's globalized world. And these are possible only through deliberate and continued efforts, by the members, and especially the government, of a pluralist society. In ethics, moral pluralism is the idea that there are diverse moral principles and theories, and that, though these may conflict with each other, each must be respected. Hence, a moral pluralist is someone who is open-minded, when faced with competing moral views. He believes that because moral issues are very complex, no single moral approach will always provide the right answer. For this reason, he will always analyze moral issues from several moral perspectives, before making a decision, or taking an action. In religion, where pluralism too is much needed, for as is well known, religious differences have been, and still continue to be, one of the main causes of conflict. Just think, for example, of the age-old conflict between the Palestinians and the Israeli, and the Christians and the Muslims. Religious pluralism refers to the state, where people have the respect, freedom, and right to believe, practice, and join a religion, according to their conscience. In the same way, people also have the right to suspend, or not have any belief or religion at all, as in the case of agnostics and atheists. Put differently, religious pluralism is the view that all religious beliefs and practices are equal, and thus should be respected and tolerated. Lastly, pluralism in politics, or political pluralism, is the idea that power should not be held only by a single individual, or group of individuals, but rather, dispersed among diverse ideological and economic groups. In other words, it is the recognition and affirmation of diversity within a political body, which allows the peaceful coexistence of different views, interests, and lifestyles. Most political theorists assume that respecting diverse political views is beneficial to the society, as it promotes equality and social justice.
Bismillah, Assalamualaikum. Today we will have an informal discussion about pluralism. Okay, firstly, what is pluralism?
It's not like a definition, but it's based on my understanding that I think the pluralism is something is that they think that giving importance to all different value is a good thing. So basically, they don't judge that this opinion is superior than this one, this opinion is wrong, this one is right. Basically, they consider all the various opinions are the good ones.
Okay, so does pluralism have a good impact on the society?
Yes, pluralism have a good impact on the society. Like we can see in Malaysia, all the celebration among the people we celebrate. I'm also no exception in celebrating other religious festivals. I have many friends of many races and religions. Therefore, I can discourage them if they have invited me to their festival. But I didn't go to the festival because of the different religion. So in my opinion, it is not wrong if I go to the festival with the intention of learning and knowing the difference between races. As long as I don't do their religious ceremony, like praying or something like that. In this way, we are closer to spreading our preaching to non-Muslim. Like what Allah say in Surah 49 verse 13, O humanity, indeed we created you and made you into people and tribes so that you may get to know one another.
Okay, how about politics?
So in my opinion, when we talk about pluralism in politics, it has a good and bad side. But I think it's more to bad side of pluralism in politics because in politics, if there are many type of party in politics, it will occur to the power struggle between them, and the effect of power struggle between these two party or certain party, it will cause to the people of our country, Indonesia. Sometimes when the politicians, when they want to win something, they make a promise that sometimes they will never.
Can we accept pluralism? What is your opinion?
Actually, the thing that when I came, I'm not Malaysian, so when I came to Malaysia, it was surprising because I thought Malaysia is a Muslim country. But once I came, Christmas is also holiday here. In Japan, it's not holiday. Although they celebrate, but they don't make it holiday. And even the Chinese New Year and Hindu festivals, they make everything holiday. I was kind of surprised that why you're giving opportunity for them to celebrate their own festival in an Islamic country. But once I lived here, now it's already a few months I'm living here, and I noticed although it's a Muslim country, but when we see the Chinese and Indian, there are also so many in Malaysia, and neglecting them is it's not good, right? Because it's also for it's they're Indian and Chinese, but they're also Malaysian. I mean, that is their country. I mean, this is their country. So they want to feel this country as a home. So I think it's good.
Now I want to know what is the negative side or shortcomings of pluralism.
One of the bad sides that I have read in article or magazine is racism. So for example, in United States of America, they comprise negative attitudes and views towards races or ethnicities of other people who live in America itself. For example, Asian Americans, Hispanic, and Middle Easterns who live in America have faced racism towards the community itself, which is European Americans, because European Americans, they have advantages in terms of education, immigration, voting rights, and citizenship. For these European Americans, they use racism towards Black Americans as well. For instance, some of the white people, they use the term, the N-word, towards the Black Americans, which is very, very rude. So the racism is one of the bad sides of the pluralism.
So what we can conclude here is pluralism is man-made ideology. So when man-made, we have to know that there are many weaknesses. So we back to the basic. As a Muslim, we have to committed to be a good Muslim by following the Quran and Sunnah teaching. We cannot just let go our religion just because we want to celebrate the other nations. Okay, thank you all. So that's all our discussion. What's your opinion on this matter?